Now, I have no idea what happened recently or whatever changed over at Respawn Entertainment, but a series of updates have given us a ton of reason to believe that Titanfall 3 is actually in development as we speak. So as you probably know by now, Titanfall is the franchise that eventually spun off into Apex Legends, which remains to be one of the most popular first-person shooter games in the world thanks to its free-to-play model and addictive gameplay loop. But many fans have been begging Respawn Entertainment and their parent company EA to give Titanfall another try, because despite both Titanfall games being excellent, there were both financial disappointments due to the issues completely out of the developer's control. The first game was an Xbox exclusive during a time where Xbox's reputation was the worst it's ever been. And on top of that, EA decided to launch it with a full price as well as a $50 season pass, despite it being a multiplayer only game, which was a very hard sale. The sequel dropped just 2 years later on all platforms, and it was critically acclaimed for its multiplayer and single player campaign. But EA decided to launch it in the week between Battlefield and Call of Duty, meaning absolutely nobody bought it during its launch window. According to former Respawn employees, a third Titanfall game was indeed in the works at one point, but it was eventually shut down in order to shift focus towards Apex Legends, which was clearly the right call from the financial point of view, but it certainly left a bad taste in the mouths of the die-hard Titanfall fans. Recently, a number of fans and industry insiders have pointed out that EA is in a desperate need of a premium first-person shooter, especially to compete with Call of Duty, and now that Battlefield's reputation is ruined and Star Wars Battlefront is completely dead, and with how popular Apex Legends is, there definitely is an argument to be made that a fully fledged Titanfall 3 game would make way more money than the previous titles. Titanfall 3 could be the biggest shooter of the year, potentially even dethroning Call of Duty as one of the biggest console FPSs on the market. Now that does sound pretty insane, but Call of Duty is extremely vulnerable right now, and with Apex Legends being the perfect jumping off point for Respawn to bring back Titanfall, believe it or not, that might actually be what's happening as we speak. Many of you have probably noticed how much talk about Titanfall 2 there actually is right now, over on Twitter as well as Facebook, and that's due to a few things that happened out of nowhere. Firstly, Respawn Entertainment quietly released a patch for Titanfall 2 that fixed most of the matchmaking issues that had plagued the game since release. For those that didn't know, Titanfall 2 had a ton of back-end technical problems in its multiplayer that did a bunch of serious damage to its long-term potential, which is a major reason why the multiplayer died so quickly despite it being so beloved. Even if you wanted to keep Titanfall 2 alive, it was nearly impossible due to the technical problems in the back end, but Respawn then quietly fixed them. It also helped that the game was heavily discounted on Steam, meaning you only have to pay a few bucks in order to get this online. And the cherry on top of that, Respawn has been quietly making updates to the matchmaking playlists, and they've even been putting in brand new game modes that were never in the game before. But perhaps the biggest piece of evidence for Titanfall 3 was uncovered by the community, and it may actually be the thing that we've all been waiting for. The other day, Respawn updated the Titanfall 2 menu with a brand new playlist that simply wasn't titled at all. On top of that, the current season of Apex Legends is scheduled to end in late October, which will be the 7th anniversary for Titanfall 2's launch. Can you see where I'm going with this? No matter how you want to look at this, there is no way Respawn just suddenly is patching up Titanfall 2 for no reason. There's also no way that the timing of everything is a total coincidence. I mean, come on, they're patching up Titanfall 2 a month before the end of the current Apex Legends season, which just so happens to be the anniversary for Titanfall 2. There's so many reasons that I could come up with that all of this is just pointing towards Titanfall 3. Like legit, all the arrows are pointing towards Titanfall 3. Did I mention that the current season of Apex Legends is literally titled Resurrection? There's no shot that that's a coincidence. They've been planning this for months and months and months and maybe even years. And I don't think they'd be putting this much effort into fixing Titanfall 2 if they didn't have a reason to do so. You know, and just to think of it, there's so much effort into fixing Titanfall 2. There's no shot Respawn is not having to pay people to go back and fix all these bugs and issues with the multiplayer servers. I mean, there has to be a way for Respawn to make their money back. This can't just be fan service for Titanfall 2. As of today in this video's production, the Steam version of Titanfall 2 is experiencing a huge resurgence. It recently peaked at almost 23,000 concurrent players, which means Titanfall 2 in the year of 2023 is closing in on its all-time concurrent player count on Steam. Now, we don't have any official word on Titanfall 3 just yet, but at this point, it's all confirmed that the franchise is going live. If I had to guess, I would say that various Titanfall 3 teasers are going to start popping up in both Apex Legends and in Titanfall 2, and then in late October, around the Titanfall 2's anniversary and the end of the current Apex Legends season, there will most likely be an official announcement that Titanfall 3 is indeed in development. Now, when it comes to a Titanfall 3 release date, I'm gonna guess that Respawn announces it in October, and it will likely launch in late 2024 or early 2025. But my money's on early 2025 because I think it'll allow EA to not compete with with Call of Duty 2024, and that way they can avoid a potential repeat of Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 was reportedly developed in just under 2 years, and Titanfall 3 was in development for a decent amount of time before it was shelved, so it's possible that Respawn could just get the Titanfall 3 completely finished and ready to launch within less than 3 years. So if they're currently working on this project in secret, it would make total sense for them to launch it in early 2025. Plus, that would give them plenty of more time to fully revive Titanfall 2's multiplayer on all platforms and continue to market Titanfall 3 within Apex Legends, especially because I would think that they'd want to get all the Battle Royale players on board for Titanfall 3. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for Titanfall 3? Do you believe that Respawn is actually working on it, or do you think them fixing up Titanfall 2 is just a random piece of goodwill and it's all just one giant coincidence of timing? We've been talking about Titanfall 3 on this channel for a very long time, and we definitely want this report to be legitimate, but at this point, only time will tell. Thankfully, if the rumors are true and Titanfall 3 reveal is coming at the end of the current Apex Legends season, then we only have to wait another month or so to find out if this was actually real or not. But until then, I'm just gonna cross my fingers and continue to play Titanfall 2. I suggest you guys do the same. But that's gonna wrap it up with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel with all your notifications turned on so you never miss an upload. This has been Zach with VGL. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next